Good evening and welcome to Itawamba Community College 2016 Leadoff Banquet. Great crowd. Thank you for being here and showing the support. The college has a rich and proud tradition with its baseball program. We're very proud of it. I believe our first baseball coach here was Mr. John Krubal, who was later the president of Itawamba Junior College then. Coach Kurt Monroe coached here many years. Roy Crescent, legendary coach here, won the college's first state championship in 1993. And then Chuck Box was here for a couple of years. And since then, Coach Collier has been the head coach for 14 years. Coach Collier's won 8 North Division championships, 2 state championships, 2 Region 23 championships. And Coach Collier, we're looking forward to an undefeated season this year. Let's just get it out there the way it is. Another little tidbit right there. Back years ago when Coach Crescent was coaching, he had a great team. And they were going over to play a school in Alabama that I cannot recall. And he had kidney stones. And so he said, "Will you take them over there?" He's talking to me. I didn't coach baseball. I played a little bit of it. He said, "Don't worry about it. It'll all take care of itself." Now, they were terrible. Calhoun was. Went over there and we got beat a doubleheader. So I never won a game as a baseball coach. I wanted to mention a couple of things here. We have Mr. Bubba Hudspeth and his beautiful partner in life, Faith. Mr. Hudspeth has on our community and junior college state board and has served a long legacy in community colleges, and we appreciate y'all being here. The reason they're here, they have a grandson sitting right down here with the name of Dalton that is a sophomore, so thank you for being here. The leadership of the athletic department is under Carrie Ball Williams, and she is absolutely the best athletic director in the state, and you can throw all the universities in there too. She does a wonderful job. We're the only community college in the state that's won at least one championship in sports for probably the last 10 years. That's just indicative of her leadership. Carrie is in the Athletic Hall of Fame, and she's already been inducted into the Community College and Junior College Athletic Hall of Fame. I don't see her here. She's got a basketball game tonight. She would be here if it was not for that. Let me say this, the college supports the student-athlete concept and expects our athletes to do well in the classroom while exhibiting good sportsmanship. And I think this is very important. One of the things that our coaches really pride themselves in, Coach Collier and all of our coaches, that not only do we want you to be successful on the field, we want you to be successful in the classroom, and we want you to represent your family and this institution in a proud manner. Coach Johnson, we're pleased to have you here tonight. He is from Mississippi State, and so I know that we appreciate you being here and part of this. So we're going to have us a good night tonight. Again, thank you for being here, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Let's pray. Father God, I'd like to thank you for this day and all these people who have come out here to support us. It means a lot to all of us. Thank you for this food that we've received, God. I pray that you bless it to the nourishment of our bodies. I thank you for Coach Johnson coming over here to speak to us, God. I pray that you bless our time together. In Jesus' name, amen.
My name is Chris Burrows. I am the Master of Ceremonies for the 18th year. It's a job that I certainly enjoy. It's my job, basically, to keep this thing moving. So I have a course up here, so if they ever get going too long, don't worry, I'll take care of them like that to make sure that we stay on time. I appreciate President Eaton coming by and speaking. He is modest. He did not mention the fact that while he was here as a coach in football, he won state championships, teams that were always ranked in the nation's top 20, several that have played in the NFL, and he is a Hall of Fame coach. If there were a Hall of Fame for administrators, he would be there as well, because there is not a better president working in the junior college system, community college system, than Mike Eaton is, and we're very proud of him. Let me also say to you as parents, because obviously baseball is your specific interest, you have a president that cares about your sport. This is not a college where baseball is considered a secondary sport or something that we just want to be competitive in. This is something that we seek to be excellent in. This school wants to be number one, whether it's in the classroom or whether it's on the athletic field. They don't harbor mediocrity, and they will not tolerate a loser. And that is directly due to the leadership of Mike Eaton as president. I want to introduce the staff. I noticed, when we got the program here, that there was, a really nice bio for you, Coach Johnson. There was a nice bio for Rick Collier, but, somewhere in there should have been Justin Bryant, who's back here in the back corner. Justin is the assistant coach of our baseball team. When Justin was here, he was All-State, All-American. He was a 2-year starter at Auburn. While he was at Auburn, he found time to hit .325, win 6 games on the mound, save another 8, play about 5 different positions. But he's probably best known for driving in 8 runs against Georgia. His batting gloves are on display at the College Baseball Hall of Fame. I've often said this, we've had great players at Itawamba that include professional baseball players, but you can make a strong argument the best player who ever put on a shirt in baseball here is our assistant coach. A nice hand for Justin Bryant. And way out of his league is the nice lady sitting behind him, or beside him, Katie, his wife. Now, I get the honor of introducing Coach Collier, who will introduce in turn our back girls and our players. I have told Coach Collier not to talk about himself because nobody came to hear him talk about himself. They want to talk, they want to hear about your kids. And he's going to do that. But let me say this for him in his defense. For the better part of 20 years, whether it was as a player or an assistant coach or a head coach, which he has been for 14 years, Rick Collier has served Itawamba Community College. This is the job that he cares about. He has had opportunities. He's had people who have indicated interest to him. Would you like to step to another level? And although he has been tempted in that way, and he's embarrassed to say that, this is the job that he has always wanted from the time he was old enough to walk. This is the school that he cares about. This is the area that he cares about. These are the people that he cares about. He loves Itawamba Community College. Rick has won 439 games while here. I've thought about the fact that this year's freshman class has an opportunity to be the group that will be on the field when you get 500, Rick. Have you thought about that? Yeah, I know you have. Well, Rick has been a part as a coach, assistant coach, and a player for teams that have won state titles, regional titles, divisional titles, super regional titles, and have played in the College World Series. He was a JUCO All-American while he was here, one of the finest hitters. In fact, Rick had a major league bat when he played at this level. He went on to Delta State. He was a 2-time All-American at Delta State. And Delta State thought so much of him that when Rick completed his career there, he was the youngest inductee in the Delta State Hall of Fame for his sport. They didn't wait long at all. They wanted him inducted in the Hall of Fame immediately. Rick has coached 2 players here that are playing in the major leagues. He had a streak here of 11 years where I believe it was 11 straight years we sent a player to the SEC, 12 for a Division I school. More than 100 players have gone on to play college baseball at a higher level that he has worked with directly. And for all the things that Rick has accomplished, the one that is the most stunning to me is the fact that the lady who is sitting next to him, Stephanie Stone, he managed to convince her to marry him and to be the mother of their child, Stone. Stone, who's sitting down here, the good-looking, smart one in the family. But Rick Collier has accomplished just about everything. So you are entrusting your son to a man who not only cares, a man with a record of success, and a man that will make you proud that you will one day say, he coached my son. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice hand for Rick Collier.
I tell you where all that came from. That's recruiting. You recruit hard. Now we work hard, and Brother Chris, you said it right. You're a good place. Itawamba Community College will always have a place in my heart. It's home. Had opportunities. I turned some down. It's where I want to be, and I'm proud that most of you guys picked Itawamba Community College. But it is a special place. It really is. You can look around and you compare the campuses, and it's just once we get guys on visits, we got them most of the time. It is a special place. It really is. I know I'm not the speaker tonight. They'll get on to me about talking a long time. So I'm going to run through a lot of these that, there's no way that I could keep this job if it was, I have a lot of help. If you have a lot of help, things go a lot smoother. And we listed a lot of people in here. Stephanie and Stone, they put up with a lot. I'm gone this time. It's time to roll. It's time to go find players. This time, one night I'm on the phone, and a lot of nights, she goes, Rick, do you enjoy saying that same stuff every night? You sit there for hours on the phone. I said, well, do you like this house? Do you like to eat? We gotta recruit, and it's a war out there. The state's opened up, and that's where I'm thankful for the campus we have, the facilities we have, and but they put up with, I miss a lot of his stuff. That might get me one day. If he keeps progressing, it'd be tough on me to miss all of his games, but he can play. Stone gets after it also. I need to mark them off. I'd like for my grandfather to stand up. That's a backbone right there now. I'm going, Well, he turned 95. I wish I had $1. No, I'd take a quarter for every ball game he's been to, and very, very supportive. And I am very blessed to still have my grandfather. Thank you. Coach Ball, she got here yet? She said she'd be here. She's at the back. She's coming though. She said she'd get here in time for the closing. She's at another obligation, but when you got a good boss, it makes the job a lot easier. I just thank the world of Coach Ball. She is one, like they just said, she's probably the best athletic director around the country. She's great. I'm not going to skip over John Dave. John Dave, my uncle, he was my first baseball coach. He coached at Moore forever, and he played his quarterback here in football, and went on to Delta State. I'm not trying to prioritize, but President Eaton, the things that are changing since he took over. We're getting that locker room. It's going to be nice. Oh, it's going to be nice. I don't know if I ought to tell this. He may get me. I may be fired in a minute. But I raise money now. I tried my hardest. I put money into that. All the money you guys give, it goes right back to these guys. He wanted a meeting. I'd done my research, and I knew I could get a pole barn and turf and stuff for $18,000. And I know a lot of y'all have helped, and thank you so much for your donations. But he wanted a meeting. I said, President, after we did all the stuff and the lighting, they wanted to put state-of-the-art lights under it. He said, I said, President, I don't have it. I said, there's no need of meeting. There's no need of me wasting you guys' time. He said, no, Rick, I want to meet with you. And I said, yes, sir. So he wanted to know where the money was coming from, and I told him how much money I had, and he said, that'd be tough on the school if we didn't put a $26,000 building up for $8,000. I'm giving him 18, and it's happening. He's helping us. And next project is a wood fence, and we're gonna get that field doctored up, and that's what you got to do. Stay on top. You got to keep adding. I say fingernail polish, makeup, perms, whatever you want to call it. But you got to doctor it up. Everybody else is doctoring it up, and he is really helping out every sport, not just baseball. He's changing all the sports, and but I really appreciate it, President. Lee Adams, he's with Sports Information. Miss Maggie Caldwell, Miss Amy Brown, Mr. John Bowens, our printer, Miss Kim Weigel, Raphael, Mr. Raphael, Adam Gore, he's our radio guy. Oh, it's unreal what gets out there. If you guys can't make it to the games, get on the internet and watch. You can listen to it on the internet, listen to it on the radio. They care about baseball around here. You got your sons at places that care about it. So, but we thank those guys. Justin, stand back up, buddy. Thank you, man. I meant please stand up. But anyway, that boy could play, man. Young man, he could play. He was a workaholic. 08, 09 memories. I want a memory from you guys. These rings, they're nice. I put that guy in the 3rd hole, 3 hole. We moved him to 2nd to save his arm because he pitched. But just, you think I'd hire him back on here with me if that dude didn't work, or if that guy didn't get after it? So, you know, I can't say enough for him. There's just, if you look at the program, there's no front, back, left, there's not any space. But I make sure I give him a well introduction that, I got him a good one, and he's getting better as the years go. So let's give him a round of applause. Brother Chris, he's been a friend forever. I lost my dad when I was these guys' age. He was 42 years old when he passed away. He used to write for the Daily Journal, and he wrote a big article in the Journal, and he's always been there for me. I go to him for more than coaching stuff. He and I are buddies. We talk a lot, and I wouldn't take anything for his friendship. Miss Sylvia Shambley, she puts up with us. She does all of our sports scholarships. She's Coach Ball's secretary. There's the lady right there now. She's got other obligations. We already told them Coach Ball, but that's the best boss around the nation right there. So y'all give her applause, please. Kirk Sheffield and Lee McMullen. Some of you already told me you rode by the field. The field looks good. It's a nice place. They painted the dugouts. Like we said, we're doing a lot of work, but they do all the grounds work. And we're very, very proud to have those guys. Steve Miller and Sodexo staff, they had a great meal. It's a good meal, man. They do all of that. It's our cafeteria guys. Mr. Tony Potts, I don't want him mad at me. He told me to leave him out sometimes, but I can't help it. Mr. Potts, please raise your hand or stand. You don't get mad at me, sir, but he gets all the sports memorabilia, and he's become a good friend of mine, and he loves to take care of that part of it, and I need him, and I appreciate it. Dylan Nicholson, stand up, man. Where's Dylan? Dylan's our student assistant. He helps us out with drill work, whatever we need him to do, and he is very important to us, and we're proud to have Dylan. All right, for the baseball guys, I'm excited. I'm very excited. We broke that string of playoffs, and we gave 4 games away last year, and all we needed was that one game. We had a few errors here and there. Something happened. We dropped some games. But I tell you what now, looking at y'all got to be great people, because I think in my mind, most of the time, the sons are products of whoever they came from. I haven't had, this is better than looking. I have not had any bad emails. I have not had any problems. We had a few grades that we straightened out, and study hall and run a little bit. That straightened that out. Work ethic. Wow. They show up. Coach said he was up there giving lessons the other night extra. He sent out on our group meet, I'm going to be up here. He said everybody showed up in the indoor facility. That's what it takes. That's what it takes now. And that's not just on the field. That's what it takes in the classroom, too. I'm not gonna say I was the sharpest tool in the shed, and that's what I tell my guys. But I knew how to study, I knew what I wanted in life, and that's what we tell these guys, go for whatever you want, but it don't come easy. If it's easy, everybody do it, and that's just common sense right there. But I am proud of this group, no matter what happens. They work hard, and they are great to be around. I'm not gonna go there, but anyway, I love this group, I really do. They can come stay with me, I let Stone go home with any of them. And that ought to tell you right there what I feel about those guys. But let's go with, now guys, hope you didn't mess me up. If you didn't write your mom and dad's name down, I take it they did not come with you tonight. But if they did, stop what we're doing and we will recognize them. Sophomores, Drake Roughton. All right, stand on up. Let's stand up there for us. Timothy Rowe. Ty Wheeler. Mom and Dad, David and Tammy Wheeler. Please stand up, Mom and Dad. Y'all go ahead and kind of let you know each other, and I know some of you got to know each other in the fall also. Nick Burns, Ken and Karen Burns. If I don't mind, stick them over, Mr. Burns. There you go. John Pugh, Stephen and Joanna Pugh. Trenton Stringer, Nathan and Melissa Stringer. Hagen Box, Keith and Jennifer Box. Jonas White, Robbie and Suzanne White. Blake Bennett, Paige Campbell. Keith Stepter. Tyreek Reed, Terry and Pamela Reed. Caleb Barnes, James and Marie Barnes. Brian Malone, Stan and Rhonda Malone. J.T. Salter. Brandon Williams. Mason McGee, Bill McGee. Austin Carpenter. Blake Appel, Kurt and Claudia Appel. Jonathan Waycaster, Rodney and Lindley Waycaster. Corey Murphy, Lee and Amber Murphy. Cody Pate, Roger and Cherie Pate. Stephon Moore. Hayden Gewen, Mike and Sherry Gewen. Delvin Zinn, Aletha Brand and Tara Zinn. Dalton Husband. He wants Missy, Cully, Faye, and Bubba Husband. Russ Payne, Dixie, Jason, Miss Bessie, Mr. Johnny, and Kevin. John Morgan Payne, Mr. Joe and Pamela Payne. That's our 2016 team right there. If I say them wrong, now we have a group of ladies, and we've got about, Coach, how many we got? 30. Only 5 could come tonight, but they're called Diamond Girls, and you want to talk about some help. That's they get an hour credit from the college, but they keep over the scoreboard. They'll do some announcing. They get the bats in the dugouts. They go get foul balls. They help in the concession stand. I mean, they're very valuable to us, and we really appreciate them. Now, if I say this wrong, you correct me. Is it Alex Goodwin? Alex? Okay. Ashton Morpus? Anna Wood? Alexis Smith? Miss Haley Hicks? Y'all gonna enjoy, I think, watching this group now. They get after it. It's gonna be, I hope, a fun time this year for all of us. And I also want to thank Coach Wes Johnson. I was worried a little bit. He texted me the other day, and then Coach Cohen called me. He said, "Coach, man, we're in the middle. What time is he going to speak?" And I went, "Oh no, what was saying here?" He said, "We've done this 18 years, and I said, nothing's happened." And he said, "What time is he going to speak?" And I said, "Well, if he can get there by 6:30, 6:45, he'll be okay. We got a lot of work to do." And I said, "I understand," but he said, "But he'll be there." And then Coach Johnson called me today. "Don't worry about it, Coach. I'm getting out of there earlier." So I was like, "Well, all right, I feel better." So anyway, but I appreciate you. I know it's a tough time, new job. Wow, Mississippi State, I'm putting pressure on you. There's a lot of folks watching, and it's a great job you got, and I wish the best of luck for you, and thanks for coming.
You know, I met Coach Johnson, 30 minutes ago? Yeah, so I'm speaking from a deep personal experience, of Coach Johnson. But before I got up here, I do want to say this. One of the great joys of being able to do this is Coach Collier has done this for the last 14 years, and it never fails to amaze me what he will do to somebody's name during the course of 14 years. And Rick, you did a great job tonight. You got almost all the names right and everything. Man, y'all should be proud, because it's funny to listen, because the more intense he gets, you don't know what he's going to call you. But if he's looking at you and he speaks to you, just be assured he's speaking directly to you, regardless what your name is. Wes Johnson, I've enjoyed the last 30 minutes here. Let me tell you what I know about the guy. He's originally from Sherwood, Arkansas, which is a suburb of Little Rock, North Little Rock. So he's, knows a little bit about the area. The places where he's coached, Abundant Life High School, won a state title there. They're the Owls. And then he coached at Central Arkansas, Southern Arkansas. Those are the Bears and the Mule Riders. And then before he came to Mississippi State, he was the pitching coach at Dallas Baptist, which are the Patriots. So I'm really big on, when you know your nicknames, you've got it down pat. You can look at the back of the program and you can see the resume that he has. 20-plus pitchers have been drafted or in the professional ranks over the last 7 years, including the 16th overall draft pick in 2010, Hayden Simpson. He is the father of 3 children, 2 adult, a male and a female, and then the younger one, Ava, I assume, still in the house, 8. And, and let me close my introduction by just saying this briefly. Here's what I've learned in 30 minutes. Someone brought up Tampa, who played here and playing at Mississippi State, and he said nothing but nice things about Tampa. Then someone mentioned him, Butch Thompson, who of course played here and was the pitching coach at Mississippi State before taking the head position at Auburn. And Coach Johnson said nothing but nice things. And then President Eaton, who of course played at Mississippi State, was a great player there, came over, and they shared the secret Mississippi State handshake, that they have at Mississippi State. So he has handled everything brilliantly. So all I can say is, if you handle the pitching staff as well as you've handled everything so far, it will be Mississippi State that goes undefeated this year. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice hand to the pitching coach at Mississippi State University, Wes Johnson.
Wow, this is a great event. I just want to start off by saying thank you to Coach for calling me. Gosh, you called me back, and I don't know, that was a while. And what's funny about that story you told is is I go into Coach Cohen, I'm like, hey, they want me to do the first pitch banquet. Yeah, let's go do it. Yeah, that's a great idea. Go do it. And then he's texting me this week, and he's like, hey, here's what I'm thinking on practice and all this stuff. And we get to Thursday, and I'm like, now look, Coach, I've got to be at this place. And he's like, oh. So that's just kind of, that's how that whole conversation got started. But no, I just want to thank y'all for having me. Really feel honored. I mean, you look at the history of this university, a lot of great players, people who have spoken at this banquet. I mean, just phenomenal coaches. And so I really feel honored just to be asked to come up, to come down here and speak. And I hope today that, you'll get something out of what I talked about. But, I want to start with thank yous. I think this, I've just been raised this way. I'm from Arkansas, just small town, and we grew up, and I was always taught to say thank you, and no matter what somebody's has done for you. And so I look at coaching as a profession. Coach Collier was up here talking about thanking his wife and his son, and I've said this for a long time. I've been in this game now 22 years. And I say this, if you see a successful coach who's impacting young men's life and maybe having some success on the field, you can trace it back to a good wife. So, I wouldn't be here without my wife, and so I always try to thank her. Obviously, she's not here with me, but we've been married 24 years. We got 3 great children, and I can't say enough about the support. And as I look around this room, I see all the players that got introduced, and I can't encourage you guys enough to thank whoever helped you get here. I talk to our players about that. When I first got the job at Mississippi State, I came in, I actually got hired the day before Halloween. And so that was a crazy time with a 6-year-old at the house. But anyways, that's another story. So one of the things that you come in and you're trying to know these guys really, really quick. And so I had all the pictures fill out like this 10-page packet. From everything from, where you were born, just trying to get to know these guys as much as you can. And one of the questions I ask on there, and I always think is interesting, is, hey, who do you thank the most for helping you get to Mississippi State? And so, guys, I can't encourage you enough to even tonight or here in the near future, thanking those people, because that's how you get places. Your ability does matter. Your talent level matters, and I tell our guys that all the time, but there's somebody who helped you get there. Where I came from, one of the things I used to show our guys consistently was I don't know if anybody's ever seen it, there's a picture of a turtle. Of course, it's Texas, right? So they think everything's the biggest thing in the world there. I don't know why, but it is pretty big. But so you get out in West Texas, it's really flat, and there's just a lot of barbed wire fences. And there was a guy years ago who took a picture of a turtle on top of a fence post. And it's like, how did he get there? Well, somebody had to put him there, right? So just to wrap up on the thank yous, guys, you're a turtle that's been put on a fence post, and you need to realize who helped you get there. And man, if I could encourage you to do that, thank those people. And something I talk to our guys a ton about, guys, is winning today. Win today. I've been asked a lot. I mean, you kind of look at my bio, it's kind of funny. It's I was a high school coach. Actually, when I got done playing, I was assistant high school coach for 4 years. And what I'm about to say, I don't mean to sound prideful by any means. I don't want that to come off, but I've never applied for a job other than the first one I had. And people are like, well, how did you become the head coach at Abundant Life? They just called me. And then when I was at Abundant Life, how did you go from high school to college? Well, the guy just called me. Then how did you get to Dallas Baptist? Well, he called. How did I get to Mississippi State? Coach Coleman just called me. And so I talked to our guys, I said, I think that happens when you take the mindset of just winning today. When you're constantly looking out there trying to get to the next thing, you forget about today. Forget about the chance you have today to get better. And that's something that I constantly encourage our pitching staff to do, because we have some guys, who professional baseball is like real. It's like right here in front of them. They've got a chance to make a lot of money playing this game for a really long time and have a chance to be in the big leagues, but if all they do is focus on that, they're going to struggle getting better today. And then they're going to look up 2 months down the road, and they're not going to achieve goals. And I always think that's something that, especially at a community college, just now getting into Mississippi, I know a lot of the junior college and community college coaches in Texas. And there's a couple of really good ones that I've become friends with. And that's something that they emphasize to their guys, because it's really easy for you guys to start thinking about, hey, what's my next move? I got to do this. I got to do this. And before you know it, you're going to look up and you're not going to have won today. You're never going to have that opportunity. So I constantly encourage our young men to win today. And so it's really easy to talk about that, right? So how do you win today, right? I mean, that should be the next question. And one of the things that is important to me are priorities. You know, it's funny in that packet, I told you I gave our pictures, it's like 12 pages long. It said, list your priorities. And then I got to thinking when I was typing this up, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I better kind of give these guys an example of what mine are. And so, I just put down, because I told the guys in the first meeting, we talked a little bit about priorities, but I said, okay, I'm going to give you my 3. For me, it's real easy. I'm a Christian, so number 1 for me is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Number 2 for me is my family. That's my immediate family, my wife, my 3 children, and my mother. And then it's real simple. Number 3 is Mississippi State baseball. That's it for me. I don't have a 4th. I don't have a hobby. I don't have any of that. So when I started getting answers back from these young men, it's like, okay, they were trying. I could tell they were trying to give me some good answers, but it would be like, something faith-based related. Then, some family stuff maybe, and then you would see like school or baseball mixed in there, and then it was like, well, like Xbox, hang out, I like to fish and hunt, and not that, don't get me wrong, guys, I think that's important. We want you guys to do those things, but at the same time, winning today is simply waking up and knowing what your priorities are. That's the bottom line, and for guys to reach their full potential, for guys to, when you put the spikes up, when you take them off for the last time, to look back and have no regrets on your career, I think it's extremely important to prioritize every day. And you start looking at young men, and you see the guys who are great, right? And you look, and you hear the stories of man, they did this, they did this, they did this, and you're like, wow, they had their day going. Because here's something that I think that priorities also does for young men, right? Guys, the players out here, do you like the classroom? Well, some of y'all might. I was kind of like Coach Carter. I wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer. A couple of my professors probably say I was a spoon in the middle of that drawer knife, but I made it through because every morning I was like, okay, for me, shooting you 100% honest, school was that necessary evil. I knew that though. I wanted to play. I knew I had to make grades. So I came after my freshman year, I started to understand priorities. And so what we find so many times that keeps kids from making that next jump is the classroom, is what I see. That they get so far behind and they carry that over with them to the field. So when coach is trying to make an adjustment with you hitting, for example, and you're trying to get there, well, at the end of the day, in the back of your mind is that paper you got due that you knew about a month ago, right? And then now it's due tomorrow, and you're already a little behind. And you're worried about your mom and what she's going to say if you get a bad grade and so forth. And then once again, now we go back to did you win today? And simply because you didn't prioritize right 3 months ago, you lost today. And so, guys, I'm just big on priorities. I think that's something that we really get after on a daily basis. I'm constantly talking to our guys about you have to relentlessly reprioritize your day. Working ahead, staying ahead, knowing what your day's gonna, what it's gonna be like. Man, wake up that morning, get it on paper, get it down, and attack that day. You'll look up and you'll start to achieve more goals. Some other things I think, guys, I get asked a lot of questions, and now I'm going to tell a couple of quick stories, but I get asked a lot of questions about velocity and pitching. And I don't know that there's anything magical that we really do with that, other than we try to drive in intent. And so I found this out about, I've been doing this program that I've been teaching pitchers for guys going on, I guess, 13 years now. And it had quite a bit of success. But when I was at Dallas Baptist, every fall break, the NCAA will allow you to go out of the country in the fall once every 4 years to play games. So 5 years ago, we took our team to the Dominican Republic and played those winter teams. And needless to say, that was a pretty humbling experience because those guys were really good. But, here's a question I got for you guys. How many batting tees do you think we saw in the Dominican? We didn't see one. Okay, you used to start looking around. How many weighted balls did you see? You don't see any. I can go on with all the stuff you didn't see, and we have. But here's what they have, and here's what they mastered over there, is they mastered intent. So their mind works different. Here it is. If I grabbed you two guys right here, you grew up in the Dominican, and we were walking down the street. We saw a baseball sitting just out in the road. One of y'all would sprint and go pick it up, and a quick catch would immediately break out. You would just pick up the ball and start throwing. And so we were fortunate enough this year, right before I got there, when we got back from Curacao, the day Coach Cohen called me, we took our team to Curacao this past off-season for another week. And we go down there, it's a lot of the same thing. No batting tees, there's like 3 batting cages on the whole island. And it's like, that's like sacred ground. You get the batting cage, it's like, man, you hit the lotto down there. Everything else, you're just hitting an open field. And same thing, if we roll the ball out there, quick catch would break out. They just have great intent in everything they do. You don't see them going, hey, hang on. Okay, and they start throwing. You just don't see that. So their mind and their intent is different the way they attack things. So when I got back, I decided to do a little study. So I love studies. When I was coaching in high school, I was a math teacher, so I really love numbers. What I did is I called our pitchers together. We got, where I was, we had 18 guys. I called them all together. Of course, I had this staged and set up, and we had a really young staff. And I'd set a video camera up at the back of our little indoor, and I had it running. I called those guys up, and I faked like I had to take a phone call from the athletic director. And before I left, I just tossed them 2 footballs. What do you think happened when I left? I left the building, went outside for 5 minutes, and came back in. What were they doing? They're throwing the football around, right? So one of the things I did to teach them, to show them what point I was trying to drive home on intent, how we deliver the baseball, and your body is getting ready to do this, is I just rewind the film, brought them all up and showed them, how many guys do you think started doing this? Hey, hold on. They immediately pick up the ball, they start throwing around. I'm looking around, I'm like, holy cow, we got Cam Newton, we got Tom Brady, we got Peyton Manning. These guys are making 3-step drops. And so, I think one of the biggest things that I attack with pitchers is intent. What is your intent to do with the baseball? And, I want our guys coming out immediately. We get their body so hot and so ready that intent just takes over. And I want them to think that they can throw. One of the things that, one of the first things I talk to them about is we're going to treat your arm like your legs. So you don't hear a basketball coach going up to the point guard going, hey, whoa, now look, we've counted. You've jumped 27 times. You jump one more time, we might have to pull you. No, they condition their body to jump. They do that. They do it every day. We do the same thing with the arm. That's my goal is we want guys to deliver the baseball and throw really, really hard. And then guys, a couple more things, and I'll wrap this up. I can talk really long. I get excited about this game. I love this game. But, I constantly talk to our guys about respecting the game. Gosh, I tell them all the time, this game does not care what you did yesterday. And how many times, it doesn't care what you did the last game. I don't know, Coach, maybe you've had a few of these games before. I've been a part of them, unfortunately, where you got the classic doubleheader, you go out and you win 18-3, right? You're like, yeah, we're really good. And then you lose the second one 3-2. What happened? Well, there was a lack of respect for the game, and a classic example You know, when I was thinking about things to talk to y'all about, what we do every day at Mississippi State and so forth, it happened today and on a smaller scale, but you know, we played a 6-inning scrimmage yesterday. So when you look at that, that's 12 innings that the pitching coach has got to account for numbers. So we had a good day yesterday. I mean, a pretty good day. We strike out 18 guys in 12 innings, you know, blah, blah, blah. We give up 5 total hits. So how do you think our guys were today? We go underneath that building today. We go underneath that stadium, and I could tell when I walked in, I was like, okay, these guys all of a sudden are thinking they're 10 feet tall and bulletproof, right? Hey, we've lost respect for the game. We've lost respect for winning today. Our priorities have now gone astray. So sure enough, I was waiting for it because I knew it was going to happen. We warm our guys up. We go outside. You know, they're playing catch from me to Delvin right here, and 4 balls hit the ground. We're like 25 feet away. What's going on, guys? So needless to say, we had to work the legs out a little bit and get some, you know, get a little cardiovascular in. But guys, I can't encourage you enough to think about that as well. I mean, respecting the game. I think that's what makes great players. I don't think that. I know that the best guys you have respect the game. You know, I just recently heard an interview with Derek Jeter, who I think is tremendous player, had a great career. He's a great leader, great teammate, all of those things. And the guy doing the interview said, "Hey, so I mean, what's it feel like to be great? And how do you achieve greatness? I mean, you think you're just kind of like born that way? I mean, and Derek's like, whoa, let's back up. Let's talk about being great." He said, nobody's ever great. Great is defined over a period of time, a career. How do you become great is real simple. You're good every day, and you do it for a long period of time. And then people look up at the end of your career, and they say, well, you're great. I think we just get into this society now where Sports Center shows us highlights of a guy making a great dunk, or a guy hitting a 450-foot shot over the fence, or, you know, we can go through all these different analogies. And people think that's greatness. And then you don't hear about that player for another 2 months. And you look back at the guys like a Michael Jordan, the Derek Jeters. We could go on and on and on with these great players. And they were good every day. And then you look up, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years into their career, people start labeling, hey, this guy's great. But he just didn't wake up that way. You know, it happened each day. So I can't encourage you enough, like I say, to win every day. I want to leave y'all with one last thought on this, and it's something that I think is a big buzzword and big buzz phrase because you hear it all the time. I always talk to our guys about it. It's not what you're willing to give me. It's what you're willing to give up to get what you want. And I think all the time, you know, you see it a lot. Somebody's not playing as much, and they come in and you get the knock on your door. Yeah, come on in. And what are you doing? You know, he wants to talk about his playing time or whatever it is and so forth. And it's like, Coach, if you put me in there, I'm going to give you 100%. Well, we got a lot of guys who would give us 100% if they were in the ballgame, right? We got a lot of those guys. But I think at the end of the day, you know, then you start tracing it back, and I'll ask you that question. Well, what are you willing to give up? I mean, think about it. Coach, there's a lot of guys, you probably go around campus fight and give you 100%, right? Sure. I mean, there's a lot of people who do that. So what are you willing to give up for me? And then, you know, then that's kind of where it starts, the rubber starts to hit the road. Hey, so playing Xbox till 3 in the morning. It's probably why you're not ready to go in the morning, right? When you hit the field, it takes you a little while to get you going. I mean, I'm just using a million examples of stuff I've heard over my career. But, guys, I want to leave you with that. I want to leave you with, if you want what you want, you've got to give things up. You got to give those up to get what you want. Everybody's going to give 100%, right? Or everybody's going to talk to you about giving you 100%. And at the end of the day, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people who want to play at this university. I mean, my goodness, this place is phenomenal for community college. I've been to a lot of them in my career. I've been to a lot of them. This place is, it looks like a 4-year university. I mean, it's beautiful, it's well manicured. There's a lot of kids who would want to be in your shoes today, who would give up a lot of things to play here. And so, just leaving you with that thought, hey, give your coach 100%, but also, hey, what are you willing to give up to win that national title? It already sounds like y'all are off to a good start if they're hitting with coach coming down to the indoor. We just want to thank y'all for the time, and good luck this season. And obviously, I'll be out to see y'all play. Thank you.
Guess I got here just in time. But first I want to apologize for not being here the entire time. I have a division basketball game going on at the event center. And I'm gonna age myself a little bit here, and I'm not gonna look your way, but I see more than one parent in here that played high school and junior high basketball for me. So that makes me feel a little old. They know who they are. But I want to take this opportunity to thank you for coming out tonight and supporting our baseball team. And I've been watching every day, and our guys been working really, really hard. And I know Coach Kai and Coach Bryant's going to have them ready. So I want to invite you to come out and watch us this season as we compete for championships. And before I sit down, I want to thank Coach Johnson for coming out. And I know you took a lot of time out of your busy schedule to come out and give our athletes a word of motivation, and we appreciate that. And again, I want to thank you for coming, and I want to thank everyone who had a part in putting this Leadoff Banquet together. Coach Kai and Coach Bryant, they always do a great job with this, and as I look around, I know that we have a lot of support, and we do appreciate support. We really appreciate you. You don't know how much we appreciate you. So I want to invite you to come on out and support us, continue to support us, because I think we're going to do some big things this year. We're going to get on track, and we're fixing to win some ball games. Thank you.
I'm excited to see that it's 7:36. So we have beaten the deadline, and I appreciate President Eaton for the fast start. Coach, for the fine words, we really appreciate it. I know you'll be around minutes afterwards for the folks that would like to meet you. Coach Collier always reminds me that you have 30 minutes from the time we dismiss with the closing prayer before the auction is completed. So we encourage you to look at the items. That money will go to support the program. But you do have a 30-minute window, so you have a little time to visit and say hello to the folks and do what needs to be done. 8 o'clock. That's a little faster than normal, isn't it? Okay. All right, but you have your time frame, you have your time window. Anything else, Coach? I don't want to lose anything. Would you join me in word prayer? And this will dismiss you. Father, thank you for the time that we've had together, for the food that we've enjoyed, for the people that have been part of our lives. We're grateful, Father, for these students, for these athletes that represent us. We're thankful for them, their families, for the time that they've put in, for what you've called them to. And Lord, I pray within your will that you'd allow their dreams to come true. Father, where we can help, let us be a part of that. Anything I've forgotten, please accept this prayer on behalf of our needs. In Christ's name, amen.